Hello and welcome back to Otaku Oasis podcast, where we are going to start our coverage on One Piece.
Uh,
How frequent this will be, I have no clue. I'm your host Joshua, and I'm joined here by.
Hi, I'm Matthew, also known as twitch.tv/King. I'm here against my will, but I ended up liking it. Send help.
And I'm here as the One Piece fanatic who knows a lot about it. I'm not going to say everything, but I know a lot about it.
You don't understand. I tried so long not to get sucked into this because I didn't want to put in the time commitment, and now I had to watch this, and now I'm hooked.
Uh, so,
My life has forever been ruined.
so, what were your first impressions on, like, just the beginning?
It was
Beginning to
good.
the beginning, I should say, because we're only in the prologue section of this story.
Um, I enjoyed it. Um, it's really good, and it knows how to make it. It's got that older anime feeling.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what about it. It feels different than more modern ones. I don't know exactly what it is, but it feels nostalgic watching it. Maybe it's the art
Yeah.
style. I think it's the art style.
Yeah, I mean that could definitely play a part. I mean, also it like only started publication, I believe, in like 1998. So
Yeah. Um. I will not lie. My mind was blown when they just started cursing, because I was not expecting that at all.
oh, actually, that is a good question I meant to ask. Did you watch dub or sub? Did you
I
try both?
did. I watched dub only because when I okay, so when I watch these, I'm not. It's not my only focus. I'm usually doing other things at the same time, so
Hmm.
I can't watch sub because I need to be able to hear it and understand it if I'm not fully watched. If it's not my main attention.
Fair enough. I was just curious if you'd seen sub at all.
I didn't. I thought about it, and then I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be able to fully focus on it, and I don't want to have to. That's one
Okay,
of the things. I don't like having to fully focus on pieces of media if I'm
fair
trying to enjoy it.
enough. Yeah, I don't know. I
Purist.
as a person who's well, not really. It's just more of I can't really stand Luffy's voice
Oh, I
at
love
all.
it. I love it. It's so nostalgic because it's the same actress who does Kid Gohan and Kid Goku, right?
I'm not
I think it
entirely
is.
sure.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, it definitely is because I was looking at the cast list and I kept getting Xenoverse vibes from it, and then I looked it up. She voiced Kid Gohan in Xenoverse.
got it.
That's why I enjoy it so much because I like Xenoverse is one of my favorite anime games. Granted, it's one of the only ones I've played, but I enjoy it.
I just remember her as being, I believe she's the voice director for the My Hero dub. So
She is. I think she and isn't Nami's voice actress voice Uraka?
I honestly don't know. I just know that Zorro is Chris Sabat. So you know.
It is. It's one of those you can say. Actually, who is Luffy's older brother figure who gives him the hat? What's his name?
Oh, Shanks.
Yeah, Shanks' voice actor. He is in another thing that I've watched recently, and he seems to be typecast from the two things I've seen him in as the character that I really enjoy but does not get enough screen time, and I do not remember what that other character is. Let me look it up real quick. Um, hold on. Yeah, you can keep talking while I look this up.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I guess while you're looking it up, I hope this isn't too like taxing. But what were your like initial impressions of the characters
Um,
before we get into story and everything?
I enjoy it.
Anything
I
in particular? Because you know, characters definitely older and whatnot.
um trying to there wasn't really anything I did. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Oh, he voices Gunhead. Yeah, that's why. Shanks' voice actor also voices Gunhead. You know, the one of my two favorite characters that do not get enough screen time.
I see.
Yeah, because like I'm gonna be honest, Gunhead, one of my favorite pro heroes, and it's a crime that we only see him in like one episode. Sorry.
Okay.
Thoughts about the
I mean,
cast? Our main character. I like it. I like Luffy's childhood dumbness. but he also shows he can be serious and knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Do you think about Zorro? Considering
I
like those
always
two that we
I
got
love
like
his
the
constant thing. It's like I'm not gonna join your pirate team. Too bad, I already said it. Okay, I'll join your pirate team.
yeah, no, he's very stoic.
He's very persuasive.
Yeah.
He's like, and Luffy's like, you're gonna join my pirate team. No, that's too bad. I already said you were. Nah, okay, whatever. Works for me.
Anyways, so I should probably mention what we're covering today. So, covering the Orangetown Arc, which covers episodes 1 through 4 in the anime, or you could formerly watch it through a different way of episode of East Blue, though it's not recommended unless you watch the series already.
I enjoy
At least
episodes
not
of East Blue,
at
but
least
you
not
do
fully.
if you haven't seen anything, I would recommend watching bits of episode 4 because there are some minor story bits that you'll be a
Yeah,
little confused with if you don't
yeah,
see it.
because that stuff that is actually adapted. It's not that episode 4 isn't adapted stuff. It's just this odd thing of putting chapter 1 in episode 4 for the most part, which
Yeah.
I still don't quite get to that to this day. I just feel like it's always better to understand Luffy as a kid before going into it.
Oh yeah. No. How often do we see Shanks?
Um, I mean, I won't say
Is he
he
gonna be
doesn't
one of
show
those?
up, but it's not frequent.
Aw. So Shanks isn't his older brother. It's just a friend of his, right?
um, yeah, yeah, he was
Okay.
just someone who was in his like port town as a kid.
Okay. 'Cause for some reason, I thought he was his brother. Okay. What was it? Okay. Now, I'm up front. I know very little bits and pieces of this, and I don't remember a lot. But and you don't have to answer this if it's something big. But like, is Luffy's dad a pirate?
Um, I'll just say it's something kind of akin to it. I
Okay.
don't answer that fully.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Um, so and then we're also covering the Orangetown Arc, which is episodes 5 through 8. One is straightforward.
Yes.
Well, I do actually have to skip over one thing from Romance Dawn because for some reason it's not adapted till like 2 arcs down the line in the anime.
Really?
I don't know why they cut it beforehand, but I think it was maybe just to kind of get towards that point, and the way that they slotted in, it fits. Just you get this like back in like in the beginning, like first. It was like the first like I think it was like chapter 6 for me, but yeah.
Okay.
Also, I should mention that Romance Town covers chapters 1 through 7 of the manga, and then Orangetown covers chapters 8 through 21.
Wow. That's a bit.
Yeah, let's just put it this way: One Piece fight chapters tend to be adapted pretty quickly early on, so that's why it's only like, the equal amount of episodes.
Actually, I do like that. Um, so having played Marvel's Avengers, and I know not the most looked upon game, but having played it, I now have a new appreciation for for stretchy abilities. So going in, I already knew Luffy could do some cool stuff. Luffy does some really cool fight stuff. I really enjoy Luffy's fight scenes.
Trust me, he only gets more creative as the series goes on. So
I love to hear that.
yeah, no, I honestly, it is one of the things. Because honestly, just the fight styles in general on One Piece, they're very creative.
Okay, that's good.
I mean, who would think to wield 3 swords, right?
Yeah. It goofy as heck, still really badass.
Yeah, I know. Like you hear it, and if you write it down on paper, you're like, sounds very dumb. Somehow Oda executes
Yeah, and
coolest
then
cool factor ever, and I
he
don't
took
know
down the
how.
acrobat with one strike. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. But anyways, so I'm gonna get started with Romance Dawn. And where do all good stories start? With the opening speech of Goldie Roger on his execution. To which, to sum it up quickly, he left his treasure in one piece and started the Age of the Pirates. Heck of an opening, though, isn't it?
It is a pretty good opening. Also, speaking of openings, this OP banger, such
I
a
know.
banger.
I love We Are. They're actually fun thing because we're doing this recording as kind of a thing to tie in with the 1000th episode. They're actually reanimating We Are with like updated graphics and to match the current arc, but it's gonna
Also,
be
speaking of We Are, I was found a cover of it by Jonathan Young, who, if you don't know, is very big in
hmm?
Jonathan Young is very big for like he does a lot of like anime covers, or as far as I can tell.
I've heard of
But
him. Yeah.
he did a cover of We Are, but he also actually was able to get the English voice actor for Sir Night Eye, and he also plays some character in One Piece. I don't know off the top of my head, but he's actually able to get the English VA for one of the voice actors for the show to sing the song with him.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
I
No,
thought that was really cool.
I mean, let's put it this way: there are a lot of characters in One Piece, and by
Oh
a
yeah,
lot,
no, I
I mean
was
a
just looking at
lot.
the cast. I was looking at the cast, and it's like a who's who of voice acting.
Mhm. Actually,
Honestly, it's like if you haven't been in One Piece, what are you doing?
yeah, I'm actually gonna be curious about one thing that I'm gonna have to check later on, but I'm not gonna say it because it's later, like way later on stuff. So,
Okay.
um, anyways, so after that we get Luffy's introduction with him standing on a ship, uh, trying to prove himself to Shanks and his crew, by stabbing himself in the face with a knife.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's what happened. It's a very short scene, but yeah,
Okay.
that's why he has the stitches across his thing.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's not covered in episode 4, which is why I told you to watch the episode of East Blue because it adapts chapter 1 a bit better than episode 4 in my opinion.
I was wondering why. Yeah. Okay.
And so, because if you ever wonder why Luffy has that scar under his face, you would never know if you watched the original anime.
I was wondering about that. I assumed he got it before. Yeah, he had to have gotten it before he ate the gum gum fruit.
Hmm. But from that, basically afterwards, they go to the bar on their island because it's like a port town island and whatnot. To be exact, I believe Luffy's island has I'm fully blanking on his island's name because I think it was something like yeah. So yeah, Luffy and Shanks just kind of talking in a bar. Shanks just making fun of him, kind of for wanting to become a pirate
Yeah.
because he's like, well, if you want to be a pirate so bad, just make sure to drink your juice, and then treats him like a kid for drinking juice.
Pirates don't drink juice.
Yeah. And I mean, it's obviously Luffy feels like he's being made fun of, but Shanks' first mate Ben Beckman kind of say I guess really a bit more of like a kind of what Shanks really means, but Shanks is also just very jovial in nature. Um, um, basically just says that being a pirate is a pretty dangerous life. So not something
Yeah.
to be quite made fun of, you know.
Yeah.
So they go about partying a bit. I believe at some point also Shanks' crew is like at saying to Shanks like, "Hey, you could take Luffy out for like just one of our adventures for a little bit." But Shanks
Thanks. It's
retorts
like, one
back.
of you's gotta stay.
Yeah, I love his retort. Is like, "Well, how about you? How about one of you take his place then?" Just always love that retort because then they immediately back down. They're like, "Nope, nope, we're good."
Nope, nope, we're good. So does Luffy have a parental figure at this point? Who is
At
he living with at this point?
this point, you don't know.
Ah,
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And so at this point, the mountain bandits come in.
Yes, the Mountain Bandits.
Which they just just asking for some alcohol. Like I mean, they're practically just land pirates.
Yeah.
Not actually, as we'll see later, but basically, since basically Shanks' crew drank out most of the alcohol, it's like he has like one of the last bottles. He's like, "Do you want some?" Mountain Bandit's leader, whose name is Higuma. If you were curious about like a lot of the characters' names, and I could probably give you it. On Shanks' head, and Shanks is like not getting mad about it, and it's like, hey, sorry, it's all good. I'll just clean it up, and basically he was like making fun of him and whatnot because he's like not retorting back to him. Luffy's getting obviously mad at this as well, because it's like Shanks shouldn't be taking this.
Yeah.
Once the bandits leave, the crew start laughing and whatnot, and Luffy gets very mad at that because like he feels like it's a shame on their pride and whatnot. But I think this is where Shanks teaches one of the important lessons I think that impacts Luffy. Is that there are times to be like mad about stuff. There are times where you just have to take it on the shoulder and run with it.
Yeah.
Anyways, just covering up to this part, what did you think of like Shanks?
I still think Shanks is criminally underused in the first arc. Yes, he gets a whole episode to him. I want him more. I want more of him. I think Shanks is one of my favorite characters.
I mean, rightfully so. I mean, I think even One Piece fans today still clamor to know more about him, just because we know
Yeah.
so little. I'm telling you,
I'm telling you,
I hardly
his
know
voice actor.
Shanks.
I'm telling you, his voice actor always gets typecasted into characters that everyone loves, but does not get enough screen time.
Yeah, but when all that bandit stuff was happening, Luffy, just a strange looking fruit. I mean, it was completely normal, right? Just purple,
Oh
had some swirl
yeah,
on it.
yeah, no, it's normal.
Yeah. So
Nothing important. Not like it's gonna drive the whole plot.
Oh no, and so basically Luffy's was gonna go off to try and pick a fight with the bandits, but Shanks grabs his hand and starts stretching. A little weird. I mean,
Nah, it's normal. Kids do that.
yeah, I mean, definitely, they definitely stretch like a freaking rubber band.
Yeah, that's normal.
But, so at this point, we get the introduction to the devil fruits, and Luffy's one
How
is
common do we have people who is all of the villains that we fight have devil fruit powers?
not all of them.
I don't know.
Um, yeah, no, and Luffy's fruit in particular is the Gamu Gomu no Mi, or the Gum Gum fruit in the localization. Um, so if you want an accurate translation, it's technically the rubber fruit.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I imagine Luffy calls it the gum gum fruit because it was easier for him to say when he was younger and just kind of stuck with it.
No, it's just because the 4 Kids dub originally translated the Gomu Gomu no Mi as the Gum Gum fruit, and the translation stuck.
Yeah, that seems like the laziest translation I could get from it.
Those 4 Kids that left that. They also left the Zolo arc.
What?
Yeah, in the dub and in the translated manga, Zorro will be called Zolo, like a lot instead of
Really?
Zorro.
I haven't noticed it.
I think I believe it's like the there's like few arcs they kept it as Zorro, but then they changed it for some reason, like a little bit in, and then it's Zolo the entire way to present day. So
Wait, even in the Funimation dub?
that's in the Funimation dub.
Ugh.
Yeah, the only reason why, and it's like this from the 4 Kids dub is just because they didn't want to get sued on the rights for using the word Zorro.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. But still, ew.
Yeah. But anyways, just another thing that. Anyways, so after that, you learn about the devil fruits and that you lose the power to swim. Like Luffy could swim to begin with, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, it's
So, and
you
it
think
kind of
about
gets isn't it explained as like, you gain the power of like the Sea Devil, but but the Sea Devil takes something in return or something.
and that's just your power of swimming. But yeah,
I wonder what. I was trying to think of like a logical reason that would happen, but I also recognize that this is an anime and those don't exist.
well, One Piece does tend to like to explain everything, but even for that sort of stuff, we don't know.
Okay.
So even I couldn't tell you the origin of devil fruits and whatnot. But just like the concept of devil fruits, what do you think about them?
Seems like this universe's version of quirks. It's a way to explain powers, way to make fights cool. Seems like your standard run of the mill anime trope.
Fair enough. I mean, they come with like a very inherent drawback, but
Oh yeah, but
especially in a world that's made up of like 75% water. But you
I
know,
mean,
I
grant, aren't we seven? Isn't Earth 75% water?
don't think so. I think
What's the ratio to land to water?
like it's a bit less here.
Let me look it up.
It's
Oh, it's
no,
one.
71,
Okay.
71%.
Ratio of land
Is
to water for the
Earth.
whole Earth is 1/2 and 2/3 for the northern hemisphere. That doesn't sound right. Guess it's.
It said 70, at least from my looking up, 71% water, 29% Earth. Looks of it. Might be wrong on that. But anyways, that's the point. So we get a bit of a time skip. Shanks's crew has been gone for a bit, and so Luffy's just been at the bar. That
Yeah,
bar.
because
He always is. I
it's almost like he lives there.
mean, he practically does at this point. And the bandits come back, and they start making fun of Shanks and his crew and whatnot. And obviously, Luffy didn't take kind to it the first time. He doesn't take kind to it the second time. He hasn't quite learned what Shanks is trying to teach him yet.
It takes. He'll figure it out eventually. He's not the smartest boy.
No, but so basically the bandits are like you can't we aren't taking this mockery of us. So they were about to kill him when Shanks' crew shows up, and they're like, "Hey, nobody was in the port to greet us, so we decided to come and check on what's up." And basically that's when I get one of my favorite scenes of Shanks, like one of my favorite things of
Are you
Shanks.
willing to use it? Because guns aren't for intimidation; they're for using, and then blast at the head. He did.
Yeah, yeah, no, his yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
pretty cool scene.
I just love that his I forget what position he is, but Lucky Roo is the name of the guy who's eating meat and pulls the gun.
Nice.
It's like, but yeah, I've just always loved that scene.
It
And
is a pretty cool scene.
from that we also get Hanks' speech of like, you can spill like you can spill alcohol on me, you can spit in my face, you can do any of that, but if you dare insult one of my friends, I take that personally.
Yeah.
Um, so basically, like Shanks is but, which not really even. It's really just his first mate Ben Beckman who like wrecks the floor with all of them. Um, Basically, the leader goes and runs and kidnaps Luffy, trying to feed him to a sea king.
Is
Is
that what
what
does
the
that?
sea monster. That's what those sea monsters are called.
Now I've played Pokemon, and that don't look like no Sea King.
There's a space between the sea and the king.
I know I was making a joke,
No, I know.
but I did not realize that the monster was called Sea King.
No, there are quite a few different types of sea kings, but that is just one. While it is technically just called the King of the Shore, it is a sea king as well. Smaller one, but one nonetheless. And so basically, Sea King comes and eats the bandit leader.
I'm surprised
And
Luffy was able to stay afloat for so long, because we see later that if you eat a devil fruit, you cannot move at all in water. I thought.
I think it may just be because like normally yes, but I think because he was at least struggling to some extent, and also I think if I'm not wrong, kids have like slightly more buoyancy than adults do, I believe.
Potentially, I don't know.
Could
I
be wrong
ain't
on
no
that, but
doctor.
anyways, regardless, Shanks comes in and saves Luffy from Sea King.
With something that I still don't understand how it happened. Just
I mean, he
tells the
just
Sea
had a
King of
menacing glare.
how he do that.
You'll have to find out. But in Shanks saving Luffy, he sacrifices his arm.
So okay, did the Sea King eat it? I was confused. I couldn't get a good glimpse as to where he lost it.
Yeah, the Sea King it off. It's say like in both versions of the anime, they make it kind of hard to tell because you have to keep violence to a bit of a lower stake.
Yeah.
Like we see the arm in the manga either, but it's just very clear that it was bitten off in the manga.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. And I'll iterate on anything that's like significantly different from the anime to like the manga because there are a few moments that are significantly different.
I love Shanks. It's like if he's like your arm, you lost it. Shanks like it's okay. I have another one. Yeah, I don't care. I got another arm. It don't matter.
No, I know he was. If we want to be a little bit more exact, an arm was a small price to pay if it was to save you.
Yeah, he also makes mention that it's okay. No, I'm pretty sure he says, it's okay. I have another one.
I know he does say that too. I'm just
Okay.
just like yeah. He also states basically like that he doesn't like regret losing it basically as well.
Oh yeah, no, he
As long as
definitely says he
Luffy was
doesn't
safe.
regret losing it. Yeah, but
No,
very
he did.
nonplussed about the whole thing.
Yeah, and I think it's mostly just to keep Luffy in better spirits, if anything. Because I mean, I think also just because he's prepared to do it. You know? But anyways, so after this, Luffy declares his dream to Shanks as he's sleeping, being that I'm gonna become a great pirate like you someday. A crew just as big and will rival yours. Someday I'll be king of the. Which Shanks says okay, and he gives him his hat and says, "Return it to me when you become a great pirate."
So, because like I know, uh, Shanks isn't one of the original Straw Hat pirates. Wasn't Luffy's dad originally a Straw Hat? Isn't that is that right?
No, no.
Because I know like Shanks is part of the Red Hair Pirates. I thought I read somewhere.
Yeah, Shanks is the captain of the Red Hair Pirates. So if we want to be technical, there are two iterations of this first chapter that came out before this first chapter as one shots, and they're somewhat similar in that they have pirates and they have devil fruits. just some terminology stuff is different, and some characters like Shanks didn't exist. Um, as instead of being Shanks who was wearing the straw hat, it was a different character who had it. He gives it to Luffy. It was basically that character filled the same role as Shanks, but it was not Shanks.
Okay, so but the Straw Hats were already a thing, right? Before Luffy got the hat.
uh, what do you mean by that?
I thought there was already like a Straw Hat group, and like Luffy was
Uh,
like the second coming of it or something. I don't know. Again, I don't
no,
know. I know very limited bits and pieces, and I don't know enough to concoct a whole story.
I don't think so. There are definitely like a few significant figures who have worn a straw hat, but
They're not like a unified group.
no, at
Okay.
least not under the name of like Straw Hat Pirates or
So Straw
anything.
Hat Pirates, that's Luffy's gang then, right?
That is Luffy's.
Okay. Because I knew Luffy was going to become the leader of the Straw Hat Pirates, but I wasn't sure if like there was. I thought that was the Straw Hat was significant for some reason. Besides, it being Shanks, I thought it had some other significance.
I'll just say it's just important for Shanks at the moment. I
Okay.
mean, it does have a little bit of importance in one of the upcoming arcs, but we'll get there when we get there.
Okay.
um, yeah. So after that, we get a 10-year time skip to Luffy setting sail. And, the come around of basically his entire thing from the beginning of saying his punches are like pistols, and punches the Lord of the Shore with his Gomu no Pistoru, or Gum Pistol. And uh, it's mostly just to show his growth, but also just a nice come around for the entire like first chapter.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like the beginning of Romance Dawn. So just going off of Luffy's backstory and leading up to present day, what do you think?
I like it. Luffy feels like just your standard run of the mill protagonist. He's a he makes bad choices and he learns from it. And now he's got to learn to save the day with the power of friendship.
compared
That's
to like
that's
compared to
what this
like
show's
other,
about, right? The power of friendship.
I mean, yes, sort of. Um,
The power of friendship and this devil fruit I ate.
yeah, but what did you think about it? Like compared to other like openings, like My Hero or Doctor Stone or Demon Slayer? Like, this is like the fourth opening that you've seen for Shonen series now. Do
It's good. I like it.
you think
Um,
like it compares and whatnot?
um, I don't know. Like, I would say it's better than Doctor Stone's, but I mean, Doctor Stone doesn't need to be really action packed like My Hero or One Piece.
Doctor Stone isn't like meant to be fully action and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah, no, like if you want it, like I don't know, like they're all so different. It's hard to compare them or rank them.
I mean, I'd say probably at least the ones that you could probably best compare it to are like Demon Slayer and My Hero, and just
Yeah, but
like comparing them.
they all have
No,
their
I
own
know. I'm
strengths
just
and
saying
weaknesses.
like
I don't know how I would rank them.
I'm not saying like ranking them, but how do you think
Yeah,
like
it compares.
comparatively like how do you feel like the world building is, or like how the characters
Oh,
are
for
set up and
world
whatnot?
building, I don't think it does the best job at world building because you don't learn a lot about the world until a little bit later. Like, sure, there are pirates, treasure, devil fruit. That's pretty much all you get out of this. But I mean, and then a couple episodes later, you learn that the world's divided down the middle, and that you can't cross it. Um, what else was I trying to say? Yeah, like my hero is really quick to build up the world. Like you know what you're in, you know what you're getting into really quickly. I think my hero does an amazing job of building the world. Demon Slayer's got a bit of a cold open, which I also appreciate. I think, yeah, I think One Piece and Demon Slayer are a bit more cold opens, kind of.
Yeah, I definitely think, like, if we're talking about, like, world building openings, I definitely think My Hero would have to take it, just because it introduces, like, the idea of quirks and how they came about and how it shapes the world pretty quickly.
Yeah, My Hero doesn't make sure, but it does it in a way that you get what you need to know, and they don't oversaturate you on information. I think Demon Slayer's does what it needs to, but it takes a little longer to get everything. I think the issue with One Piece is that you don't learn a lot of information, but
And I'll just say this now, basically, but this entire saga that you're in, called the East Blue Saga,
yeah.
is defined as the prologue of the story, so...
Oh, I figured. I mean, we still haven't even met Sanji yet. That's his name, right? The last of the main.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
And,
only met 3 of the main 5 crew members, right? So, it's still gonna take some time.
yeah. You still got Usopp and Sanji left.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know who that Usopp person was, but I've heard of Sanji.
Yeah, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. But I think when it comes to, like, building up character, I definitely think Demon Slayers and One Pieces does it, like, really well, and, like,
Yeah,
building up
they're
their
good at building
character.
characters, and I mean they're all good at getting you hooked. It's just there's an obvious lack of information.
Yeah, and I'll just say this now. One Piece is a slow burn, but the more you put into it, the more you get out of it, I think.
That's what I figured. It's just it's gonna you gotta put in a lot and a lot to get good information out of it.
Yeah, no, I will say it now. I definitely did not know as much as I knew of One Piece going through first time around, but I've read through, like, the manga once already, so this is a second reread for me.
Yeah, it
I've also
takes a
gone through
lot
the
of.
anime as well, so I've got a lot of stuff, and I'm still
Yeah,
finding, like, new
this
stuff
is
and new
gonna take at
perspectives on
least.
things.
Yeah, this is gonna take at least a year or two to get to the 1000th episode. I'm not even gonna say it's gonna take forever to try and catch up.
Yeah. But anyways, so that was, like, the beginning part. Now basically Luffy is set off, and obviously the kid is just very bright-eyed, but has no navigation skills whatsoever, and gets
Yeah,
sucked into a whirlpool immediately.
he not very bright.
Um, and so he ends up on the ship of Alvida, or technically, if you want
A ship being raided by Alvida.
to, technically, there's a difference between the anime and the manga, and I'm not entirely sure why they changed it. It doesn't make too much of a difference. It just changes the setting a little bit. That in the anime they set it up on 2 ships, whereas in the manga it's Alvida's, like, island.
Okay.
She's on an island instead of, like, and she has, like, her ship right next to it. So, like, the ship stuff is all, like, pretty similar. Just
Fascinating. How long until
is it?
Luffy gets his ship?
It should be by the end of the next
This
arc that
season?
we cover.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, we see the Alvida with her crew and Kobe, who is, like, one of their cabin boys and whatnot.
I'm bad for Kobe. Also, Kobe is voiced by Kobe's voice actress voices someone else. I gotta look it up.
Okay. You do that while I just kind of over the plot.
That's what I usually do.
Basically,
Holy
Kobe,
shit! Is there a time jump in this?
this is probably why I should have done that myself. But yeah, there's a time skip eventually.
Ah, whoops! I'm gonna just close that tab.
That's fine. It's fine. The time skip is a pretty known factor, but as
I
long
did
as you
not know
don't,
about that.
like, if you follow One Piece, at all. You know there's a time skip, but I'm not gonna say anything more about it than that. Otherwise,
Yeah, Clark, that's what I'm looking for. Sorry, keep going.
you're good. Basically, Kobe happens upon the barrel that Luffy hit him when he was getting sucked into a whirlpool, and just luckily ended up where he did.
Okay, I figured it out. She also voices Toga.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's one of those like really I couldn't put that together.
Fair enough. Basically, once he finds Luffy, he talks about how he wanted to escape, but just kind of gave up. It's like as he has a hard time having confidence in himself and whatnot. But Luffy's like, stupid. I don't like you at all.
Why are you hitting me? Because I can. Because I want to.
Just love Luffy's bluntness in a lot of cases as well.
Yeah.
Man's just like very clear of like, I don't like you, or wow, you're fat. He doesn't come from a place of maliciousness. He just says what he thinks.
Yeah.
Um, basically, Luffy's like, well, I want to be king of the pirates, so I'm gonna start collecting my crew and whatnot. And so he's like, like the nearest like ship and whatnot, and so Kobe from this kind of is inspired to help Luffy escape and whatnot, and states that like his dream is to become a marine, and so basically then since Alvita was searching for Kobe and they hand Luffy as well, happens upon them, and Luffy. Alvita has this thing where she's very much like
the worst.
I was gonna say like evil queenish, like, and she's like she says like the line of like who's the beautifulest of them all and whatnot, you know?
Oh, yeah, actually, sorry. Luffy's voice actress also does Yaoyorozu.
I was like, pretty sure Yaoyorozu was one of them, but
Yeah, also Kid Gohan and Baby Trunks and young Goku, like child Goku. Sorry, continue.
No, you're good. You're good. What was I gonna say? I guess just to put it out there while I'm thinking of what I was forgetting, a fun fact about Luffy's Japanese voice actress is that it's also the same voice actress who does Krillin from Dragon Ball.
Oh, interesting.
That's what it was. Okay. And so basically, Alvita comes in and Luffy calls her out and then proceeds to just beat them all with his Gum power pretty quick.
Yeah, he's pretty overpowered.
At this point in the story, yeah.
Yeah, some tells me it's not always going to be like that. It never is.
I mean, it's also just that it's like opening and whatnot, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is I do like the little extra scenes that they do add in the anime pretty early on, where of like showing like Nami being around and like stealing stuff and whatnot.
I do like. Yeah, I always love how she just always happens to be around.
It's technically just like basically filler that they add in, but it's like I think it's good filler. No, I'm like I think it's good filler just like so that like you can see like some of the other characters before they run into like the main party and whatnot. It really happens with Nami just because it like makes sense in character for her to do it. Yeah, it was like a really nice touch. Like I do think
I find it
like
funny her character motivation. Her character, he's like, pirates are awful and they ruin everything. Yet I'm going to steal everything just like a pirate. But I'm
yeah,
somehow better.
I'll get into it a little bit later, but basically we Luffy and Kobe set sail to go looking for Zorro because Kobe says that there's a pretty well-known swordsman when Luffy says he's looking for a swordsman is Zorro, and they happen upon Shellstown, where
Zorro.
they go in, they get some food first, and then they go see that Zorro is tied up. And was said that if he could survive, I believe, for like 10 days without food, he'd be set free.
Mm.
And we get like, well, I guess I'll get into it because it's not yet, but like a little bit afterwards. Basically, this little girl who comes up when Luffy and Kobe are looking at Zoro goes in and tries to give Zoro like this rice ball. But then the biggest say probably like the biggest
I
jerk
hate
in
everyone on this island. Except I hate them. This episode is really good at making me realize that Marines are assholes. You know, that was one thing I did recognize while watching this. In like pretty much every piece of pirate media, Marines are assholes.
at this point for sure they
It's
definitely
just a
come.
commonality.
Well, I mean, not all of them, but like the ones that are in power.
Yeah.
It's like you definitely see reluctance from like a lot of the henchmen.
I don't know, the henchmen are good, but
the ones in power.
yeah, the ones who make the calls. Just the worst.
So we get the son of the captain here, who is at a lieutenant position just because of it. His name is Helmeppo, if you're curious.
Yeah, Helmeppo, I remember that.
Butt chin and all.
Butt chin and all.
His horrible, horrible bob cut.
Yeah.
But, basically he comes in at the right time, sees the little girl's rice ball, takes a bite out of it. The girl made it out of sugar because she's young. Yeah. She's young and whatnot. And,
Has that been getting water? Has Zorro been getting water? Because he hadn't eaten in 3 weeks.
I think so. I'm pretty sure it was also only 3 days, but...
No, they said 3 weeks. They said it is 3... He said he had to be there for a month, he'd been there for 3 weeks, and he only had 10 days left. I specifically remember this.
Was it 3 weeks? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean...
I was like, how is he alive?
Just put it this way. Things are built differently in the One Piece world.
Yeah.
Just
also,
gonna have
to Christopher Sabat, he's just built different. Any character he voice acts is just built different.
Yeah. I don't hate the dub, but every single time I hear Zoro, all I can think of is Vegeta. All I can think of.
I wonder why.
Like, nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. I just sound remarkably similar.
Yeah,
I mean, a little bit
this is
different
also
from Vegeta.
back. This was also recorded back in 2004. Probably about the time they were also doing Dragon Ball. I don't think.
No, I believe they started dubbing it, like, because they didn't get the rights to start dubbing till, like, I think, like, 2008. Regardless.
I don't know, but yeah.
Regardless, he does Dragon Ball dubbing a lot.
Yeah, no, he does. Yeah. He does pretty much. He's pretty much in everything. Let's be honest.
It's true.
Is he like also like part of like the directing squad up there?
Yes, he is. Nice. I believe he still is the director for like Dragon Ball dub stuff and whatnot. So yeah. Cool. I believe he started out like with that as well, but yeah.
Cool.
Anyways, besides the point, so humans are built different in One Piece. Humans can like it's never said, but humans on average live to like about 120 in the One Piece world.
Oh, okay. Cool. I guess.
So there's also a huge size difference in how big humans can be as well, but it's besides the point. It's very small world building details that even like they're revealed in the manga, but only in like this question corner that we'll get to later. It's not introduced yet. But anyways, so we get Zoro's introduction from this, and basically Luffy and Kobe leave to go back to where they had food, where the little girl was and whatnot, and they get the story of why he ended up that way, and it was because um stopped like one of Helmeppo's wolves and whatnot,
Hmm.
which in the manga he technically killed, but
Interesting.
yeah, but Zoro like took on this because he feels like a thing that's true to their words, but we hear from Helmeppo, who enters the bar, that, oh yeah, I'm just gonna kill Zoro, like, tomorrow and whatnot. Because he
Bastard
doesn't know how
man.
to not be a slime ball.
Bastard man.
Um, so Luffy socks him, and Helmeppo goes running off to Daddy, because that's all he can do.
That's all he knows how to do.
Um,
Whiny bitch boy.
no, and so Luffy and Kobe are going to go save Zoro and whatnot. Helmeppo gets back first, and this is where we get our introduction to Captain Morgan, not the alcohol. Um, and
You know, that's fair. I made the same exact joke. I made that exact same joke when I was watching it.
yeah, it
I
is,
thought
I
it was
believe,
funny.
actually, I believe it is actually based off of like an actual captain from the past, because it's the same thing with Alvita, like a little history thing, because like a lot of these characters are based off of a lot of different things, and we wouldn't have enough time to get into every single one, but
Yeah.
I mean, I will say this: Luffy and Goku seem to share the same inspiration source.
Food.
No, I mean by like what inspired their characters.
Oh. Oh, really?
Hmm,
What was
yeah,
it?
they were in
The
Sun
Sun Wu.
Wukong.
Yeah, Sun Wukong. That's right.
Hmm,
Yeah. Huh. I did not know that. Granted,
yeah.
I don't know much about uh One Piece. That was more of by choice because I didn't want to. But you know, too late for that.
Don't worry. There's a lot of like trivia facts that I could give, but be
No,
here for like 7 hours.
I'll take them off camera.
Yeah. Well, if you have any in particular, but
Yeah.
um. Anyways, so El Nepo runs into his father, Captain Morgan, who's trying to hoist up a statue of himself. If it isn't um, egoism at its finest, I don't know what it is. Um, it's egoism, right?
Yeah, he's got a big ego. Or maybe narcissism.
Yeah, narcissism. That could also work. But anyways, I do kind of find it funny though that Captain Morgan's like, yeah, I never you help up, but because
Yeah,
you
it's
were
like
never worth hitting.
I didn't hate you only because you weren't worth getting hit.
And then proceeds to hit him this time for
Father of the
actually,
year, everyone.
yeah, no, he really isn't a good father. Um, we get that, and so Luffy and Kobe get there, and Luffy's like, "Hey Zoro, do you mind if I untie you joining my crew?" And Zoro's like, "No, but can you at least get my swords if you're gonna untie me?" So Luffy's like, "Sure," and he goes rocketing up, destroying Morgan's statue of himself,
That is pretty funny.
and then uses Helmeppo as a hostage.
As one does.
Which I find it actually really funny. The scene where Luffy's like running through using Helmeppo basically as like a shield and whatnot, like when
Aye,
they
dude,
throw.
it's like you can shoot me if you want, but and then puts Helmeppo in front of him.
Yeah, just the look on Luffy's face as well when he does it.
Luffy is pretty fun.
And no, honestly, I love the comedy in One Piece a lot as well. Not all the comedy, but I do love a lot of it.
I don't blame you.
um. Anyways, so Luffy is able to get the swords because Helmet was like, yeah, they're in my room. We just passed it. And Luffy's like, well, why didn't you tell me so in the first
Why didn't you
place?
tell me early? Now we gotta go back.
Yeah. And so while they're off doing that, Morgan and the men show up, and one of them shoots Kobe before like Luffy gets there. But
Okay, hold on.
kills.
Sorry, backtracking, and I'll be honest, I've been sitting on behind the voice actor for like the whole time. You said Higumo was the land pirate from the first episode, right?
Higoma is the bandit.
Yeah,
Yes.
apparently he was voice act. Apparently he shares a voice actor with Fat Gum.
Who? Oh, Fat Gum.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, I've just been sitting on behind the voice actor the entire episode.
That's fine. There's a lot of characters. If you want to look into their voice actors, you could.
Also, apparently, he also voices adult Son Gohan.
Because it's what is it? Sunny Straight, I believe.
Kyle Hebert.
Oh, Kyle Herbert. That's what it was. Hebert. I don't know. I don't know how it's pronounced.
I don't know.
I don't know why I thought Sunny Straight. This is a different character. Voice is someone else that I can't remember the role, but name always comes to mind for some reason. Anyways, so
I mean, he's someone
Morgan.
in my Oh, Krillin.
That's what it was. Okay. I remember that for a reason, but I can't remember why. I'll do it. Yeah.
It's also Usopp, but I don't know who that is.
That'll be the next Straw Hat we're gonna be introduced to after this arc.
Oh, interesting. He also did Bardock in the Broly movie.
That makes sense. I'm like, I believe he did like someone other than Krillin, but yeah. A lot of the DBT cast is like double, triple casted over.
Oh, he's also Present Mike and Reed Destro. I didn't realize President Mike and Reed Destro shared a voice actor.
Reed Destro? One of the villains on the movies, or
no, he's the main bad guy for the Meta Liberation Army before Shigaraki comes.
Oh, right, that guy.
Yeah, I did not realize that they share a voice actor.
Interesting. Anyways, so Luffy is able to get Zoro's swords and brings them to Zoro and he's like, Zoro, which one of these swords is yours? And it's like, all three. It's always, I don't know, I've always found that like really funny, like at least when I first like saw it through and whatnot.
Yeah, no, it's funny. No, this show is funny. I'll give it that.
So basically Zoro says his dream basically of like, I want to become the world's greatest swordsman. And so basically while holding off a whole bunch of marines and Luffy gets into a bit of predicament when trying to fight. And Helmet Boat comes with a pistol to Kobe's head. I have to send you after this the 4Kids edit they did on that.
Oh, please do, because I remember 4Kids gets bullied a lot these days.
Well, just especially for the one like what they did to One Piece and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I want to see this. It's got to be good.
I'll show it to you afterwards. But yeah, and so basically Luffy is like, well, I gotta prioritize this, and so Morgan tries to go in for like his axe swing because he has an axe hand, which honestly is kind of cool.
It's goofy, but it's pretty cool. It's a little cool.
And so basically Zoro then does of his moves, Onigiri, not to be confused with the rice ball, it actually means
That's why I thought that is why I thought I heard that's why I thought I've heard Onigiri before. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, no. Onigiri means rice ball, but it's also a double pun because oni and then giri as separate words can mean demon slash, basically.
Fascinating how those two things mean such very different things.
Oda loves his puns. and it's like one of the hardest things to translate is that all of Zoro's techniques, or at least like a lot of them, are puns.
Nice.
I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but I just know the Onigiri one off the top of my head because I've seen that one a bit. Anyways, so that they defeat Kobe and Helmet, not Kobe, Morgan and Helmeppo, not Kobe. Kobe is on our side at least. So basically, Zoro agrees to I believe he cuts it down. Morgan, he says like that right, Cap. Um, basically that's when he accepts becoming Luffy's crew. Um, so afterwards, as they're about to head out, um, Kobe's talking to like how he wants to join the Marines, but is scared about the Marines' history check on him because he's on a pirate crew. So you know, could be a big no-no.
Yeah, probably a little bit.
As Luffy and Zoro are heading out of the bar, the Marines show up, and they're basically trying to off and whatnot. And Kobe says he wants to become
So
like.
Did they kill Captain Morgan and the other guy? Did you say no?
I said no.
Oh, what happened to them? I forget.
Um.
I know you probably just said it, but
Oh,
I spaced out for a
I
minute.
didn't say anything about what happens to them. As we don't see yet, but you will see it like within this saga. So
Did they get blasted? Did they get punched out
not
into space?
this saga, but they didn't get punched out into space like the next villain does, but were captured at least. I believe the Marines say that like they took them into custody and whatnot.
Okay, I couldn't remember. So they just knock him out. Yeah, Luffy likes
Oh,
sending villains, defeating villains a la Team Rocket and making them blast off again.
I mean not all of them, but
He did it with Elvira. He did it with the next one.
oh yeah, no, I'm not saying that he doesn't. I'm just saying
Yeah.
not like all of them. But track record early on, yes, he does
That's
do
2
that a
for
lot.
3.
Luffy, basically when asked, like, when the Marines asked Luffy, is like, is this guy part of your, like, asking about if Kobe's part of their crew? Luffy's like, nah, he's just some stripped kid who I met who was part of a pirate crew. Because he's trying to, make Kobe mad and whatnot, to punch him. And basically, Kobe figures out, like, after he punches him, that Luffy was doing this on purpose so that Kobe could be separated from pirates.
I do like it. It's very sweet.
Luffy might be intellectually dumb, but his emotional intelligence is quite high.
Oh yeah.
And then basically after that, Kobe and the Marines, Luffy and Zoro, as they head off to thank him for Morgan. And this little funny thing after they leave. I don't know if it's in the anime or not. I'm pretty sure it is though. It's like basically, well, man, we just saluted pirates, and that is against your code. So
Good, so we're going without dinner
for a
tonight.
month.
Oh, I thought it was just dinner for the night.
They might have said that in the anime, but in the manga, they said they basically put themselves on the same punishment as Zoro without eating for a month.
Oh, nice.
Um, yeah. And so that was the Romance Dawn arc. What were your What are your thoughts on it
It's pretty good.
overall?
I like it. I like I like seeing assholes get their butts handed to them. That seems like again it's going to be the theme of the show.
Yeah. No, there's also like reading through this. I found it interesting that there's kind of this through line of like idea of like appearances of a person and whatnot. You know,
Mm-hmm. Wait, what was
like
it? Sorry, say that again.
like a kind of like a theme throughout that's like reflected in like Luffy versus the villain and whatnot. That it's the idea of appearance, like Luffy by like his title and like appearance as in like title, I should say, is that like he's technically, you know, and are meant to be like good people and whatnot. Where you have Captain Morgan, who may like his title to be a good person for being a Marine, yet appearances aren't true to what their titles are.
Yeah.
I don't know, like the little things that you can pick up in like rereads and whatnot in like some of the themes and whatnot is fascinating, honestly, I think. But
Yeah. No, that seems cool. I'm excited to see where the show goes.
no, honestly, if you're liking this stuff really, the show I think really only gets better. So
That's good.
the show starts off pretty good, but I think it only gets better from there. Like there are maybe like what some people would consider like a few hiccups here and there. Especially in the anime, there are like specific arcs that are butchered way more than others of it.
Mhm.
But we'll get there when we get there.
Nice.
Um anyways. The next we have the Orangetown Arc. And starts with Luffy and Zorro just sailing without knowing a direction.
Mhm.
Zoro's like, do you know how to navigate? Because I don't know how to navigate. And Luffy pretty much says, nope, that's why I'm gathering a crew. And Zoro's like, well, then first we need a navigator then for somewhere. And he's like, but we needed like a chef and a musician first. Oh, gotta love Luffy's priorities in creates that he wants.
I'm gonna be honest, I probably missed this because it was probably at the start of episode 4.
Probably, but
Yeah, I remember. I remember end of episode 3, he's, they talk, Zoro mentions how the hat's important to him. And then Luffy looks like he's about to go into a whole story. And then,
yeah, yeah, because that's where they put in Luffy's backstory, which is technically chapter one.
yeah, I
There,
don't get why they did that. Probably to get people more interested in the show.
yeah, like I definitely think it's more just to like so that you could get straight into the action and understand like what the show is actually about without having a first episode that's like huge emotional story of how Luffy became Luffy. But still, I think it's quite important, honestly. But
Yeah.
anyway, so Luffy then basically because they're hungry tries to grab a bird in the sky, but gets his caught in its beak instead. And so Zoro goes trying to chase after him and runs across a pair of birds from a crew from like a different crew of whose captain is Buggy the Clown.
Buggy the Clown.
Basically, they say to Zoro, "Yeah, our ship kind
Mhm.
of got stolen by this girl who we know is Nami. Um, from and she tricked them out of their ship by like being able to predict the weather and tricking them with a fake like treasure thing. And she got access from that. I believe she got like a map to the Grand Line from that.
I believe she did.
Um, while Zoro is trying to get to the island, they also mentioned that Buggy is also another one of these devil fruit users. And
Yeah.
I should probably also mention just really quick because it's a small thing that's never really. I don't think it's brought up quite as a big thing, but Luffy's body, due to it being rubber now, is like immune to all projectiles and whatnot.
Yeah.
He's not immune to um
He
bladed
also seems
weapons.
immune to blunt force damage.
He's immune to blunt force and projectiles, but he's not immune
Also,
to
technically, according to the
projects.
technically, technically, according to whatever episode he fought Alvida, he also is immune to spikes because she had a spiked bat and hit him, and it didn't do shit.
Just wondering if because it was big enough that it doesn't like do anything, maybe.
I don't
Either that
know.
or just the spikes didn't hit him straight on. 'Cause he is like weak to like stabbing weapons normally, but
Yeah.
anyways, so we get to drop from the bird into Orangetown on this island, and like right next to Nami, who's being chased by some of Buggy's goons. Um, who all look like they're part of a circus. I wonder why. Um,
Weird.
but anyways, so we have Luffy basically helps save Nami. And I believe during this encounter, like Luffy's hat is dropped at some point. Luffy says to like Nami, like, touch my hat, like he very much treasures his hat and whatnot. And that will only be expanded on throughout this arc. Basically after this, the goons report to Buggy, and he is like, oh, you guys failed and whatnot, and so I believe I forget what he, like, I forget if it's, he, like, taps one of his goons with the cannonball or not, but
I don't know. I don't remember. This is part of
might
the
be
scene when
just
I
a,
was focusing on some other stuff.
might have just been a manga thing potentially as well. I kind of, I don't quite remember how it's done in the anime because it's been a long time since I've watched like the anime. Um, I know in the manga at least, like basically he's like, well, since you're one of my subordinates, that's what it does. That's what he does. He shows off the cannonball thing because like says that he's pretty big on that, and then
So what?
he chokes out one of his goons with his like his takes off his hand to do it and whatnot.
Yeah. So what? Are so what makes those cannonballs so special?
I honestly don't know. I don't know if it's expanded on or whatnot that makes his cannonballs like so much more explosive, but he's just
Because
known for having that stuff.
from what I could tell, I couldn't find any good explanation about it.
Yeah, I can't tell you why buggy balls are more explosive than regular cannonballs either.
Okay.
um, so we get our introduction to Nami with Luffy, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm here to steal like a map to the Grand Line," and Luffy's like, "Oh, because I kind of want to go there myself." Um, also Nami says like that she's stealing from pirates because she wants to collect 100 million berries, which is the currency for the world.
I did
Um,
notice that.
to buy out a certain town. What that certain town is, we do not know at this point. But it does give a reason as to why like Nami's collecting money at least. Um, so we just kind of like see kind of her like just like a bit of like her like how she like plans and whatnot. um, basically, through this, she uses Luffy as bait. Get in Buggy's good graces.
That was pretty ruthless.
I mean, it's also like in her mind, like because like we also see later once she joins Buggy, like, temporarily, is that like she wanted to free Luffy in the first place because she didn't want to like hurt him, and whatnot. It was mostly just to get in and steal some stuff from Buggy.
Yeah.
And by that, she even had stolen the key eventually later on.
Yeah.
But so I guess just at this point, what did you think of the introduction of Nami and then also Buggy?
It's all right. I wasn't a huge fan of Buggy, but he was just annoying more than anything. Nami's all right. I don't know. I don't think I've seen enough. Her morals are flimsy at best. It'll be interesting to see how the character progresses.
know, it's it's definitely fair just because like it's the first arc with every single character. I'm just curious on your first
Yeah.
thoughts.
I don't know. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it evolves.
Basically at this point, once Luffy's been turned over and like Nami's like kind of partying with them, he's like, "Oh yeah, so now kill Luffy with my special cannon, the Buggy Ball, whatnot." And like Nami really doesn't want to do that, and Luffy this entire time has been smiling and whatnot, just very calm about the entire situation, and it's like kind of also reinforces like what he said in like the first arc, is that you have to be willing to die for your dream and whatnot, and he says that to Nami as well, and that's when he decides to take out her bow staff and like protect Luffy from being attacked.
Worked. Would that have killed him?
Yeah, no, but she didn't know that he had rubber powers at this point.
That's fair.
I don't think he used them to take out those goons before him, and it's not like he goes around saying that he's like a hermit person, you know.
That's fair.
But at this point, Zorro shows up to try and stop this and whatnot, and is able to slash through Buggy quite easily. I mean, you know,
He wins immediately. That's how that works.
yeah, because I mean, Buggy was definitely just a pushover, right?
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's not like he then gets turned around and stabbed in the back because he has the chop chop fruit or the bara bara no mi, which allows him to detach his body from. Basically, he if I had to define how his body works, it's like the opposite of Luffy's, and where that slicing it doesn't work, but
Anything else?
projectile projectiles and other stuff would.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, even with this, even when stabbed, Zoro is able to turn the cannon around and pick up Luffy's cage and run away.
He's pretty cool. Yeah, fucking. It's always. Yeah, I don't think I've seen. Granted, again, haven't seen a lot, but I don't think I've seen something where a character that Christopher Sabat has voiced that isn't a badass.
Yeah, no, I don't think there really is.
It's
But
almost like it's in his contract. I must voice the stoic badass character.
I know he, funnily enough, he voices another one in like a recent mobile game that released for the Tales of franchise.
Speaking
So,
of Tales of, are they getting a new game? Another one?
uh, what do you mean? There
I
was
don't know.
Luminaria that
Yeah,
released,
that
and
one.
that's a mobile game.
Okay, because I kept seeing Tales of Luminaria, and I was like, I haven't heard anything about this, so I thought I'd ask about it.
No, it's a mobile game with an original story. But,
Okay,
it's very free to play friendly.
nice.
It's
That's always
okay,
good.
but I mean, anyways, after doing that, Zoro's like, surprisingly, he's like, "Yeah, I'll be fine after a nap." And
And Kong's out.
after the mayor showing up and saying that he can like use his house to nap in, um, you run into this dog called Shushu, um, and basically the mayor explains that Shushu is there to like protect his pet owner's store, even though his
Shoo.
pet owner died 3 months earlier, and like he thinks that Shushu knows, but he still like loves the pet shop, so he's gonna protect it and whatnot. And basically, would be somewhat defined as like Shushu's treasure. Um, but we and have basically one of Buggy's subordinates called Moji. I believe he's the vice captain at this point.
He's Master Moji. Right, I got that
And
right. He's the
yeah,
Beastmaster.
Beastmaster. Yeah, I believe Beastmaster or Beast Tamer. I believe his title like changes sometimes, but I believe it is Beastmaster in like this arc.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean this arc?
Oh, I mean, it also depends on like translation.
Nice try. So we're gonna see them again.
Yeah, I mean, it's not honestly too much of
It's
a
not that
spoiler
big of
because
a
it's
spoiler, but
later this saga, really.
you tried. Wait, Saga? What do you mean
Yeah,
Saga?
One Piece is broken up into sagas. Break up
Oh,
further into arcs. There
oh. So
are
there are
multiple arcs in the saga.
so the sagas, does this take place over multiple seasons?
Um, take place over multiple arcs, which I guess you can kind of consider a season in a way, but I mean,
Oh,
really, One Piece.
is this not like My Hero where it has specific seasons?
One Piece has been running every single
I mean,
Saturday
technically,
since
Funimation breaks it up into seasons.
they do, but if you want to be more specific, really, the first saga technically ends at episode 61. So
Holy shit, that's a lot. And then
we'll
again, this is
say though,
1,000 episodes, and we've done 8.
yeah,
We're not even.
I will also say though the last 10 episodes of the saga we skip anyways. So
Why?
technically, really only the first 50 because it's a filler arc that they put in.
But okay. Oh,
I can send you like what the One Piece arc layout looks like. But anyways, so Moji comes in with his giant pet lion Richie, and they absolutely wreck Shushu's owner's store. And
bastardry.
Luffy's like comes in and like he was already like ready to fight him, but he's like even at this point he's like you can't be taken back, but what I can do to for this dog, I can do to you like right now. I mean,
Yeah, I
even
can't take what you did, but because of what you did to this dog, I'm going to kick your ass.
especially
And
because
then
also he also beats up the dog because he sent like Luffy flying through a building for
yeah, and then
little
he hit the
bit.
dog, and then I wanted that man to die.
Oh, he's not good.
You don't
Um,
hit the dog.
so Luffy just single-handedly beats both the Lion Richie and Moji in like I think one punch each. And man, were those pretty satisfying. But basically, once it's over, I forget what it is, but Nami's like a bit skeptical on like Luffy at this point, and like feeling that he's like just like every other pirate and whatnot. But Luffy walks over and picks up last like box of pet food left from the store and sits it down to Shushu, and it's like, sorry, I can't save
Give
like
you more.
what
This
you're
is all I
treasure.
could save.
Yeah.
Also, it is fascinating to see the animation differences between season 1 and season 14. I just jumped to like the episode list just, and I'm not episode 999. It is so fascinating seeing how different the animation style is.
Now the animation style definitely grows like throughout the years. Obviously, it would have to, but
It's not like they're gonna do the same animation style the whole time. Yeah, it's just it feels very 90s anime at the start.
um, it definitely helped that like modern One Piece is done by the art direction is done by the same person who did the art direction for Broly and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
and that art style is definitely meant to be reminiscent of the '90s, but also give it that modern flair. So
Interesting.
it works out really well though. Like I really like the thicker lines and whatnot, but that's just me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and so I just love the little moment that Luffy like gives the pet food to Shushu, and it's like, sorry.
Yeah, and then Nami just does a complete 180 on him.
Hmm. Yeah, because I mean, because like normally pirates wouldn't do that sort of thing, you know. At
Yeah,
least like what her preconception is of it.
yeah,
Um, so basically at this point we get Boodle going on about how he loves his town and whatnot, and so he's gonna go off Buggy because he thinks a good idea for him to do it on his own. Someone who is pretty old and a powerhouse like Luffy or Zorro.
mhm,
And so when we get there, Luffy knocks him out immediately. I find it
yeah,
funny.
yeah,
Like, like Nami's like, did you really have to do that? And Luffy and Zoro are like, yeah, otherwise the man would have gone in and killed himself. Um, so we get basically we get into like the final fights for this arc with Zoro versus Kabaji, which and I just really like the moment where Zoro's like, man, I am so tired of fighting weak swordsmen who don't know what they're saying. And then just cuts himself and it's like, fine, is this handicap good enough for you?
yeah,
It's like Moji is like being not Moji, Kabaji is being weak, like in like going for Zoro's like wound from earlier in the arc that Buggy gave him.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, and then Zoro just finishes it with one move because Zoro is just cool like that.
Yeah. I am excited. The show does make me excited to see how. It's like, yes, it's 1,000 episodes long, but I am excited to see how the world builds and advances and all that cool stuff.
And so after that we get the Luffy versus Buggy fight, and it starts off by Buggy remarking how Luffy seems similar to a red-haired person that he knew, who turns out to be Shanks. Um, Especially the hat, because it's like a giveaway and whatnot. Um, Throughout the fight, like Luffy's like, don't mock Shanks like that, and don't mock my hat like that. This hat is my treasure and whatnot. And Buggy goes into like kind of shred the hat in this arc, and he spits on it too. Luffy does not take that kindly, and basically some help of Nami, um, able to get Buggy to break apart basically, and then when he reassembles, actually I should mention that basically Buggy goes flying towards Nami because she has all the treasure that he wants, but if he kicks him in the balls because he left his legs behind.
That was such a funny scene. Like, I knew where it was going immediately when they showed the legs. Like, I know the humor of the show. I know where it's going.
I mean, it definitely is like a bit of an older crude humor, but I still find it kind of funny.
Slapstick is always good.
Through that basically he does his body festival or chop festival where he breaks apart his entire body and whatnot. It was a very dumb mistake on his part, which allowed for his entire body parts to be tied up, and then he basically ends up with only like his hands, his legs, and his head,
Yeah.
and he gets sent flying off into the distance from because of Luffy.
He got blasted off twice in the same arc.
Yeah, but at some point, I believe it's like towards the end of the fight, we get a bit of like Buggy's backstory with Shanks and whatnot. Back when they were on the same crew together, and basically it starts with them like complaining which is colder, the North or the South Pole. Um, and basically it just spends like this like some time on like they were gonna go separate ways and whatnot, and how like I don't know, Buggy had like this semi respect for Shanks while at the same time kind of just hating his guts.
Yeah.
Um, Basically he hears about like the devil fruit and how it can be sold for a lot of money because he loves a physical treasure a lot. Doesn't understand the idea of personal items being treasure. And basically we see him try to like sell off the devil fruit, but Shanks shows up. He's trying to sneak off and get also like this other treasure. He swallows it, and basically ends up with eating the devil fruit, and then like trying to drown, but being saved by Shanks. And I love that Buggy when like going into this flashback though was like, yeah, Shanks is such a jerk, but at the end of it, Louis's like, oh, but he saved you.
Oh, but he saved you?
I know, because that's how it ended up and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I love that. Just shows you how disconnected from reality Buggy is.
Yeah. Um, so after that, because the villagers were getting kind of curious on where the mayor was, because it was longer than it normally was when he was going to check the town, and that he's not out, and that he's there, his group and whatnot, being the only ones there, and like, are you the ones doing it to our mayor? And Luffy, being Luffy, is like, yeah, I did it. And they're like, are you pirates? Yeah, I'm a pirate, and these are my crew. And,
I like. So, is this going to be a commonality that they get run out of every island they go to?
I guess it's a fairly common thing. I wouldn't say it happens like every single island, but it does happen quite a bit.
Okay.
Because they are pirates in the end, after all. Um, so basically, that's how this arc ends. So, and just to kind of wrap it up, could you guess the theme of this arc?
Friendship.
That was personal treasure versus real treasure.
Oh, yeah, that too. But also friendship.
Friendship is a like common thing, if anything, but like it's not like the end all be all. It's not like it's fairy tale where every single arc is friendship.
Yeah, it'd probably get boring with 1,000 episodes, and we saved it with the power of friendship and this devil fruit I got.
I know it's not really like that at all, really.
Yeah.
I just I don't know. It's maybe just because I've read a lot and seen a lot of like reviews and whatnot, so I kind of like know a lot of like themes and whatnot. But go on in these arcs. But, yeah. Anyways, just your overall thoughts of the Orangetown arc?
I liked it.
Yeah,
Sounds like it's
I
going to be
think
good. The show's going to be good, I think. I hope.
yeah. Anyways, I think I don't know when this will be back, but when we will be back next, we will be covering the Syrup Village arc. Um, yeah. Other than that, that's about it. So free to like, comment, and subscribe, and just back next time for when we do One Piece next.
Yep.
Final words.
Not really. I haven't got anything, As always, find me at twitch.tv/TyrionKing. Other than that, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.